Bryant Jennings, top heavyweight, American heavyweight prospect, just hours before the Tomasz Adamek versus Steve Cunningham. I know your heart is beating for Philadelphia, but could you deliver the very honest opinion about how do you see this fight developing versus Steve and Tomasz Adamek? You know them both.
Yeah, well, this fight is very interesting. Because you have Adamek who's established himself in the heavyweight division, and then you have Steve Cunningham who is just one fight into the heavyweight division. Then on top of that, these guys have fought each other. It was a great fight. It was a brawl. So they're very familiar with each other. So you're going to see action from round one. Now which fighter will show up? In other words, which Steve Cunningham would show up or which Tomasz would show up will make the difference. If Tomasz shows up with his eagerness and his will to win, then he'll bring a good fight. Same thing with Steve. If Steve shows up with his eagerness and his will to win, it'll be a great fight. I know both of the guys respect each other, so I'm kind of looking for them kind of like to show respect in the ring. But that's something that they need to set aside and make it a fight. Just like the other matches that they actually had. So it's very interesting. It's kind of hard to choose the winner because I want to lean towards Steve. Then I would say Adamek, Adamek probably has this. And I want to lean towards Adamek, then it's kind of like Steve has this. So, I mean, it's a very tough decision, and it's gonna be a good fight. I can't wait to see it.
What they cannot do, both of them, starting with Adamek, what will be the no-no for Adamek versus Steve Cunningham?
The no-no for Adamek would be to not wait around. He has to get straight to work. And that goes.
So not let Steve, win. Let's like first 5 or 6 and just be behind. You cannot do this.
Yeah. And that's kind of the same thing for both of them. I mean, I speak for one, I speak for all, because these two fighters are very familiar with each other, and so they already know what they're about to face. They already know, they're comfortable. They don't go through, the first couple rounds just filling out. There's no filling out process in this fight. So what both of them guys have to do is work from round 1 and keep it all the way to 12.
Now, so-called professional writers and boxing specialists are saying that the moment that Steve Cunningham wants to go into exchange with Tomasz Adamek, his chances of winning the fight are diminished a lot. You agree that this is one avenue of this fight that Steve cannot go in? He cannot trade punches with Adamek because it's not the good idea?
No. I know Steve is a very smart fighter. He has a very smart trainer with Brother Nazim. So I know they've been working on things to execute their plan. And you also gotta remember this isn't the same Adamek. Adamek's getting older. He's getting up there.
But Steve is not getting any younger.
Yeah, Steve is
although
not getting
he knows
any younger
how he knows how to do it.
But to kind of figure out a person's plan, it'll work for a while. But just depends on how hard the other person wants to push, to push that over. If Steve is giving good defense, if Steve is giving the right fight, and Tomasz is giving a good fight, first person to give up is kind of like the person who's going to lose. So this is just like an all out match, and the first person that that shows signs of degrading or shows signs of slowing down, then the other person's going to pick up that momentum, and that could be the winner of the fight. But this is a very tough fight to judge, because I mean, both of these guys are great fighters, and both of these guys have fought before, and they already know what they coming in to do. So it's kind of hard to judge. But if I had to judge, I would have to go with Philly, and represent for Steve. But I wish both of these guys luck. Tomasz is a good friend of mine. Steve is a good friend of mine. But that's my decision, and there you have it.